Hello everyone, meteorologist Grant Smith here along with lead forecaster Rick Fritsch here. We've got some weather on the way. This is being recorded in the early morning hours. What is it, 4?
The very early.
4:30 in the morning.
Very early morning.
Yes. We've been up working on the latest forecast and we've got some weather on the way, but yesterday was a really nice day.
Oh, yes.
And I spent most of it napping, preparing for night shift. So obviously I really enjoyed working to enjoy the weather. But this is, we have behind us here is a satellite image. We had some sunshine in the north, but the south still had the showers and the rain.
Yes, we did. As a matter of fact, looking at this satellite image, first of all, one of the things you want to take away from this is as you see these green colors here, these are the colder, higher cloud tops. Now, you might be wondering, well, what's going on here? Because Juneau was pretty sunny yesterday. Well, if you look at the dendritic pattern here, that's indicative of snow and ice on the surface of the ground under clear skies. So snow and ice shows up as green as well as the colder, higher cloud tops here. And this maroon area right in here, maroons and light grays, these were the lower clouds that persisted over the southern half of the panhandle yesterday with all the shower activity. So that is the lay of the land, and that is one of the reasons why we had such a nice day. And you can kind of see from the way the colder, higher cloud tops are blowing out here, we had some offshore winds yesterday, and that was really making for some nice weather. And way over here out in the Gulf, past Yakutat Bay, you can see a very clear line where the lower clouds ended, and all you had left over the central and western part of the Gulf were the cumulus cells associated with the convective activity. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and so we had this offshore flow that kept the north clear, and it was just a nice day. And going
Yeah,
forward,
it's beautiful.
we've got a very similar setup, but that offshore flow is kind of causing some problems with the forecast. So just for starters, let's go ahead and simplify things, starting with the high wind watch for the Prince of Wales Island area.
Yes.
And you were looking at the winds and the wind forecast. No real big changes, though, from what Dayside put together yesterday.
No, not really. I would say if there's any difference, Grant, it's going to be in these easterly winds that are advertised over here in the graphic. Easterly winds of 20 to 30, probably going to be more about southeasterly, which is pretty typical for the Prince of Wales Island, especially that slot of water running up into and over Heidelberg. So easterly, perhaps southeasterly, more than likely. Still 20 to 30 with gusts to 60 miles an hour possible, which is why we have that wind watch out.
Yeah, and so the location, high confidence there with the
Yes.
location. Timing is Wednesday evening through Wednesday night.
Yes.
With the highest wind gusts, is that still around midnight? Is that what you were saying?
Yes. It's going to be an event when most people are asleep, except for you and I.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yes. So for those folks that live down on those most vulnerable areas on Prince of Wales Island, I would suggest you want to take care of those things that might get blown around before you go to bed, and also take note of anything that might happen overnight. Of course, whenever we have a high wind event, we worry about those trees falling on power lines, falling on roofs, and of course falling on roads as well. So take note of those things and make sure that you're prepared for the next wind event in southeast Alaska in the winter.
Yes, and because it is wintertime, we also have some winter weather on the way.
Oh, yes.
A winter storm watch, and this is just for the Hyder area. This is what I looked into. 11 to 14 inches or so from Wednesday evening through Thursday afternoon. It's about a 24-hour event. We're keeping an eye on other areas in the Panhandle that could also get some of this snow, but for right now, just winter storm watch for the Hyder area. But farther north is where we could still see some of this potential for snow.
Yes.
And yesterday they issued what we call a special weather statement, which when I read it, it had a lot of the same feel as what we had the weather today, where we had this outflow wind that would call bringing the northern panhandle nice sunny weather, but those outflow winds, if they repeat, it's going to cause for a lot of ups and downs in the forecast.
Oh, yes. And that's very typical for winter in southeast Alaska. We have highest confidence on the highest amounts of snow in misty fjords and the Hyder area. And we have highest confidence in the amount of precipitation from the south. Where we have lower confidence is where the rain-snow line is going to be from south to north, and how strong the outflow winds are going to continue to be. So as this moisture moves up over the panhandle, there's going to be a certain element of northeasterly winds over the panhandle that's going to be underneath that. And those cold, dry air coming from Canada could have a tendency to dry out or evaporate the precipitation falling out of the sky, which means, of course, it won't hit the ground. So,
and then all the snow forecasts is thrown out the window.
Yes. So that's the dilemma that, Grant, you and I know firsthand very intimately. Is it going to snow? It's snowing aloft. Is it going to make it to the ground? And how long is it going to take for that warmer air to make its way up and turn the snow into rain, if it does at all? Yeah. So typically, we can count on a transition to rain over the southern panhandle earlier on. We can count on a transition to rain taking the longest to reach the far northern interchannels, Haines and Skagway. And of course, that still bears true with this system. The big question is how strong those northeasterly dry winds are going to be and whether or not they evaporate the precipitation before it hits the ground.
Yeah, and so how yesterday we had the nice outflow winds that brought the sunshine. Now those nice outflow winds combined with this low coming in from the south is just causing some havoc with our forecast. And yeah, it's the joys. It's the joys of wintertime forecasting in Southeast Alaska. So the 5-day outlook, kind of the biggest impacts here at the beginning of the 5-day with the high winds down south.
Yes.
We got the rain and snow, and then Friday a little bit of a break, and then going into the weekend, the next storm arrives, bringing another round of rain and snow and breezy conditions. So we get to do this
all over again and evaluate, okay, where is the rain-snow line for Saturday? Who's going to get rain? Who's going to get snow? How strong are the outflow winds going to be? But yes, with us on night shift, we get to look at this again tomorrow night, Wednesday night, actually tonight, Thursday night. Got a break on Friday. We'll play poker or something like that on shift.
Hey, sounds good. Don't tell the boss.
And then do it all over again Saturday and Sunday. And we'll keep doing this until the snow season is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you could always get the latest forecast on our website, weather.gov/Juneau. That's where we put the official forecast. So stay plugged in as we got the short-term impacts and then a break and then more weather on the way this weekend. So weather.gov/Juneau is where to get the official forecast. We've been on Nightside, Grant Smith and Rick Fritsch. Thanks for watching.